Many fear being alone, but you've always known you were different. That unease you feel in crowds, that sense of not fully belonging to this world, these aren't flaws, they're signs of your awakening. While others run from silence, you're learning to hear the messages it brings. What seems like isolation to most is, for you, a sacred calling. An invitation from the divine to awaken gifts that few even imagine exist. Keep watching, because what I'm about to reveal could finally explain the unexplainable experiences you've been having and show you how these gifts that seem like a burden are actually your greatest strengths. Do you remember when it began? Maybe not a specific moment, but a series of small realizations that accumulated over time. Friendships that lasted for years started to feel empty. Conversations that once flowed now sound like hollow scripts. Places that used to be comforting became heavy, almost suffocating. This is the beginning of the Chosen One's transformation, a process many call dying to self, or the dark night of the soul. It's not an easy path. You're essentially unlearning everything the world has taught you to make room for the intuitive knowledge that has always been within you. During this phase, you probably felt lonelier than ever. Family members may have called you too sensitive. Friends may have suggested you needed to chill out. And perhaps you even questioned your sanity. Am I imagining things? Why do I feel what others don't seem to notice? It's as if everyone is watching a movie, completely immersed in the story, while you begin to notice the behind-the-scenes aspects, the ropes that move the scenery, the techniques used to create the illusion. And then, that moment happened, the turning point. It might have been a betrayal you sensed before it even occurred, a prophetic dream that came true exactly as you saw it, an intuitive decision that saved you from a big problem. Or simply a moment of clarity so profound that it felt like time stood still. That's when you realized your intuition was right all along. Your sensitivity wasn't a weakness, it was your greatest strength. And the sensations you tried to ignore were actually your emerging superpowers. First, discerning truth. The first gift that awakens in the Chosen is the ability to discern truth. Have you noticed how it's becoming harder and harder to be deceived? How you can sense when someone is being dishonest, even when their words seem perfectly calculated. This is the gift of truth manifesting. It's not an intellectual ability, it's visceral. You feel the truth in your body, that feeling of discomfort in your stomach when someone lies, the slight tingling at the back of your neck when something isn't right. The mental clarity when you're faced with something authentic. In the beginning, this gift can be devastating. You begin to perceive the little lies of everyday life, the social masks, the power games in relationships. Friendships that seemed deep reveal themselves to be superficial. Relationships you idealized show their cracks. Institutions you respected expose their contradictions. It's as if a veil has been lifted and you can no longer pretend not to see. This can lead to a period of necessary detachment, where people, places, and situations that don't resonate with your truth naturally fall away from your life. This doesn't mean you should judge others for their masks. We all have our defense mechanisms and our own journeys. The difference is that you can now see beyond them, and this clarity gives you the power to choose consciously who you want to connect with, where you want to invest your energy, what values really matter to you. Second, energetic sensitivity. The second superpower you begin to develop is sensitivity to energies. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the vibe of the place? Have you met someone new and had a clear impression of that person before they even spoke? What many call a sixth sense or intuition is actually your ability to read energies. Every person, place, and even object emits a specific vibrational frequency. And you, as a chosen one, are becoming an increasingly refined receiver of these frequencies. In the beginning, this sensitivity can be overwhelming. Crowds become exhausting because you're absorbing the energies of everyone around you. Negative news, has a much greater impact on you than on other people. Even spending time with certain people can leave you drained, with headaches or anxiety for no apparent reason. But don't despair. What seems like a curse is actually a blessing not yet mastered. Over time, you'll learn to filter these energies, to create a protective field around you, and to consciously choose which vibrations you want to absorb. This sensitivity allows you to navigate life more accurately, avoiding harmful situations before they fully manifest, and being drawn to opportunities and people who are aligned with your highest good, even when rational logic can't yet see the full picture. Third, seeing beyond the veil. As your awakening progresses, you begin to develop the third superpower, the ability to see beyond physical appearances, perceiving patterns, connections, and synchronicities that others don't notice. Have you ever had the experience of thinking about someone and receiving a message from that person right away? Or noticing how certain numbers appear repeatedly at important moments? Or realizing how seemingly unrelated events connect to create a greater meaning? What many call coincidences, you begin to recognize as synchronicities, signs from the divine guiding your path. You begin to realize that nothing is truly random. There's an invisible web connecting all things, and you're developing the ability to see the threads of this web. This expanded vision allows you to recognize the patterns of your own life, repeating cycles, lessons that insist on appearing under different masks, opportunities for growth disguised as challenges. With this gift, you begin to understand that reality isn't linear or purely physical. There are dimensions of experience that go beyond what the five senses can capture, and you're beginning to access them. Fourth, deep empathy. Have you ever detected sadness behind a smile or insecurity masked as aggression? Have you ever connected deeply with a stranger as if you've known their soul for a long time? This deep empathy allows you to see people as they really are, not just their superficial personalities, but their authentic selves with all the light and shadows. You can see the divine potential in every being, even when that potential is buried under layers of conditioning and pain. This ability brings great responsibilities. Often you become a mirror for others, reflecting truths they may not be ready to see. Some people will be naturally drawn to you, seeking healing and guidance, even without knowing exactly why. Others may feel uncomfortable or even hostile in your presence, since your authenticity naturally challenges their masks. The biggest challenge with this gift is discerning when to help and when to step away. Not everyone is ready for the kind of truth you can offer, and not every pain you feel in others is your responsibility to heal. Fifth, mastery of one's own energy. The fifth and most powerful superpower of the Chosen is the ability not only to feel energies, but to consciously control and direct them. At the beginning of your journey, you probably felt like a sponge, absorbing everything around you without filter or protection. But now, you're learning to be a conscious emitter of energy. Instead of just reacting to the environment, you begin to create your own vibrational field. Have you noticed how your inner state can completely change the experience of a place or situation? How your conscious presence can calm a tense environment? How your focused intention can manifest synchronicities and opportunities aligned with your deepest desires? With energy mastery, you learn that you no longer have to be a victim of external circumstances. You can choose your energetic response to any situation. You can raise the vibration of an environment just by being present in it. You can create a protective field around you that naturally repels misaligned energies and attracts experiences resonant with your true essence. This mastery is the culmination of the other four gifts. It's when you stop being just a passive receiver of the world's energies and become a conscious co-creator of your reality. These gifts carry a great responsibility. As you awaken, you realize you can no longer live on autopilot. Every choice, every thought, every emotion becomes a powerful creative force. You begin to understand that your words carry energy, that your thoughts create your reality, that your actions have repercussions far beyond what you can immediately see. This awareness can be initially frightening. It's easier to live asleep, following established patterns, blaming others or circumstances for the results of your life. Awakening brings total responsibility, the understanding that, on a deep level, you are the creator of your experience. But with this responsibility comes immense power. When you accept that you are the author of your story, you also gain the power to rewrite it. When you recognize that your perception creates your reality, you gain the freedom to choose perceptions that uplift and expand you. Are you already noticing how your life changes when you change your energy? How impossible situations resolve themselves when you alter your perspective on them? How people and opportunities aligned with your new level of awareness begin to appear almost magically. It's not magic, it's the natural law of resonance. As an awakened chosen one, you're learning to raise your vibrational frequency, and everything that vibrates in harmony with this new frequency is naturally drawn into your life. Faced with all these gifts and responsibilities, the big question arises: what is the true purpose of the chosen? Why are we awakening at this specific moment in human history? The answer is neither simple nor unique. Each chosen one has their own specific mission, based on their unique talents, life experiences, and soul's calling. But there's a common purpose that connects all of us: to serve as bridges. Bridges between the old and the new paradigm. Bridges between limited consciousness and expanded consciousness. Bridges between separation and unity. The world is in an accelerated process of transformation. Old structures are collapsing. Previously unquestionable truths are being challenged. A new way of existing is emerging, a way based on cooperation instead of competition, on abundance instead of scarcity, on shared power instead of power over others. And you, as a chosen one, are an agent of this transformation. Not necessarily through great public acts or positions of visible leadership, although that may be the path of some, but primarily through your conscious presence and the way you live your daily life. Your clarity in a world of confusion, your authenticity in a world of masks, your compassion in a world of judgment, these are revolutionary forces. Every time you choose truth over convenience, love over fear, consciousness over automatism, you're contributing to the elevation of collective consciousness. Have you noticed how your personal transformation inspires changes in the people around you? How your courage to be authentic gives permission for others to be authentic too? How your peaceful presence calms turbulent environments? This is the true power of the chosen, the ability to transform the world simply by being who we truly are. There's no separation between inner work and outer impact. By healing our own shadows, we contribute to the healing of the whole. By raising our own frequency, we raise the frequency of the collective field. It's important to recognize that this path of awakening is neither linear nor always smooth. There are specific challenges that the chosen face, and recognizing them can help to navigate them with more grace. One of the biggest challenges is the feeling of isolation. As your perception expands, it can become increasingly difficult to relate to people who are still operating at a different level of awareness. Superficial conversations become almost painful. Values that most pursue, status, material accumulation, external approval, lose meaning for you. This can lead to a deep sense of loneliness and even alienation. You might ask yourself, is something wrong with me? Why can't I be interested in the same things that seem to satisfy others? Have you found yourself questioning everything you thought you knew? Have you spent sleepless nights contemplating questions that have no simple answers? Have you felt as if you're between worlds, no longer fully identified with your old view of reality, but not yet completely anchored in a new understanding? It's also common for the chosen to go through periods of physical, emotional, and energetic cleansing. As your frequency rises, everything that's not aligned with that new vibration needs to be released. This can manifest as sudden changes in food preferences, a need to restructure relationships, an urge to change careers or living locations, or even temporary physical symptoms as the body adjusts to the new energies. Perhaps the most significant challenge is maintaining balance between being in the world but not of the world. As chosen ones, we are called to participate in earthly life, working, maintaining relationships, fulfilling responsibilities, while maintaining expanded consciousness and connection with more subtle dimensions of reality. We weren't made to escape the world, but to transform it through our conscious presence. However, finding the balance between engagement and detachment, between compassion and setting boundaries, between being authentic and navigating a world that often doesn't value authenticity, this is an ongoing learning process. Have you noticed that your gifts intensify when you dedicate time to mindful practices? Just as a muscle strengthens with regular exercise, your spiritual superpowers expand when you intentionally nurture them. Daily prayer or meditation is probably the most powerful practice for the chosen. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even 10 minutes of conscious stillness in the morning can make a significant difference. Prayer and meditation aren't about emptying the mind, but about becoming the observer of your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations without completely identifying with them. This practice strengthens your ability to discern, helps you distinguish between your own energies and those you absorb from others, and creates an internal space of clarity from which you can make aligned decisions. Regular contact with nature is another essential practice. Nature operates at a frequency of harmony and balance that naturally resonates with your essence as a chosen one. Spending time regularly in natural environments, walking in a forest, swimming in the ocean, observing the starry sky, recharges your energetic field and restores your equilibrium. Have you noticed how you feel more centered and clear after spending time in nature? How problems that seemed huge gain a new perspective? Mindful attention to your physical body is also crucial. Your body isn't just a vehicle for your soul. It's a sensitive antenna that receives and processes energetic information. Nutritious food, regular movement, adequate sleep, and grounding practices, like walking barefoot on the earth, working with your hands on creative projects, or dancing, help to integrate your spiritual experiences and stay anchored while expanding your consciousness. Another powerful practice is working with your emotions. As a chosen one, you probably feel everything more intensely, both joys and pains. Learning to witness your emotions without being consumed by them, to honor the wisdom they bring without allowing them to direct your actions, is a skill that develops with time and practice. Have you been noticing how your emotions are powerful messengers? How anger often signals a violated boundary. Fear points to an area that needs healing. Sadness indicates a necessary process of release. Finally, intentionally cultivating genuine connections with other awakening beings is vital. Although your journey is unique, you're not alone in it. There are other chosen ones walking beside you, facing similar challenges, celebrating similar expansions. Seeking the company of people who understand and respect your sensitivity, who inspire your growth and recognize your light, even if they are few, creates a field of resonance that sustains your awakening and amplifies your impact on the world. Do you feel this calling? Reflect for a moment. Do the words I've shared resonate with your experiences? Do you recognize yourself in the descriptions of the gifts and challenges of the chosen? If so, this is no coincidence. Messages like this find you when you're ready to receive them, neither before nor after. Maybe you've felt different your whole life without understanding exactly why. Maybe you've tried to fit in, follow the conventional path, but always with a persistent feeling that there was something more. Maybe you've had inexplicable experiences that you kept to yourself, fearing that others wouldn't understand. Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection with certain people upon first meeting them? Have you had vivid dreams that seemed more real than reality itself? Have you experienced moments of clarity so profound that they seemed to transcend time and space? These are the marks of the chosen. They're not signs of madness or a fertile imagination. They're evidence of your awakening. And if you're receiving this message now, it's because you're ready to take the next step on your journey. Remember, you're not alone. Although the path of the chosen often seems lonely, there are others like you around the world, awakening to their true capabilities, recognizing the illusion of separation, contributing to the elevation of human consciousness. Some of them may already be in your life, waiting for you to recognize them. Others may appear in unexpected ways when you internally affirm your willingness to connect with your spiritual tribe. We've reached the end of this message, but in reality, we're just at the beginning. Awakening isn't a one-time event, but a continuous process of expansion and integration. Each layer removed reveals a new layer to be explored. Each truth embraced opens the door to a deeper truth. The path of the chosen isn't for the faint of heart. It demands courage to question what seems obvious, humility to admit how much we still don't know, and strength to remain faithful to our inner truth even when it goes against the consensus. But remember, you wouldn't receive the calling if you didn't have the capacity to answer it. Your challenges aren't greater than your gifts. Your doubts aren't more powerful than your intuition. Your wounds aren't deeper than your capacity for healing. The choice is now yours. You can ignore the signs of awakening and return to the comfort of the familiar, at least for a while. Or you can embrace your nature as a chosen one, accepting both the gifts and the responsibilities that come with it. If you felt this message resonate in your deepest being, if you recognized your own journey in the words shared here, know that this is just the beginning. There's much more to discover, much more to become. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to continue this journey together. Share your own experiences as a chosen one in the comments. You never know who might be needing exactly what you have to say. And always remember, your gifts aren't accidental. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness. Your desire for something deeper isn't a pipe dream. You are a chosen one, a light bearer in times of transformation, and the world needs exactly what only you can offer. Until next time, keep trusting in your inner light. It will never lead you astray.